G'day folks, we've started to reassemble it. I'm just about to bolt down the manifold. I've got the heads torqued on my studs. They recommend 80 foot-pound. Now you're probably going to laugh when I say that I've never actually gone to 80 foot-pound. I've only ever gone to 75, which, you know, it's not a lot of difference, but I was always nervous about pulling the threads out off the deck, because the threads on these are really fine. Coupled to the Molly Lou, which I finally got hold of. I got hold of a tub of this stuff. I was always trying to track it down. Anyway, I got it, 40 bucks. And I got some anti-seize lubricant too. That was 20 bucks. Because on the manifold bolts, these they gall a little bit into the aluminum head. So I thought I'd just put a bit of them on them, just so they got a bit of lubricant. Yes, I've decided on my O2 readings, guys. I'll show you in a second. I've actually made just a little panel, and I've got one of my gauges. I've actually bought Innovate. It's a little 2-inch dial gauge. It's got the digital readout with the little side light bar on it. Well, I've got one of those, but I've got room to put another 3 in. So what I'm going to do is I want to put bungs, these little O2 sensor bungs, and I'm going to put them in every cylinder with a little bolt just to block it off when I'm not using it. Now, I'm going to buy another 3 of those little O2 sensor gauges, which will give me 4 gauges all up. And what I want to do is I want to read, what it's going to allow me to do is to read the rear 4 cylinders at any given time, and then one changeover I can do the front 4. It's the only way, guys, I'm ever really going to get a handle of this thing, because there's a lot of variables going on through the rev range. What I'll do, I'll put a link up in the comments to this video. It's really interesting. George put me onto it, and it's Nelson Race Engines. He does this video where he's with Steve Brulé at Westech Performance, where they had a big block on the dyno, and they had twin tunnel rams on it, so it was a carby deal. And they had O2 sensors in all of the cylinders, and they were doing pulls, and the difference on every cylinder through the rev range was incredible. It's really interesting, and it really highlighted the problem that I'm having. We know that we're lean on these 3 cylinders, so number 3, 5 and 7 on this side. Anyway, the guys at Westech, Steve, to correct the lean cylinders that they were having issues with, they were jetting up sort of one corner, pulling some jetting out if it was rich on the other side. And I think, don't quote me on it, I think there was around 9 jet sizes difference on one back side of the carby versus, say, the front side of the carby. We know there's a 10 jet size difference on average front to rear, but say on the front rear and the rear of the carb, there was 9 jet sizes, I think. So that's quite staggering to find that, you know, that sort of jet change, or the difference in there to bring up one cylinder to an acceptable level. And the only way I can achieve that, guys, is, like I said, with the whole, like checking out all the O2 sensors. I'm only guessing if I ever do one, it could change depending on boost levels. I don't know, but this is where I want to find out. I want to find out what's going on to start with on 7 pounds of boost, and see which is my leanest cylinders, and hopefully I can correct it with some jet change. There's another option. I could probably try and blend in around under the roof here to try and encourage a bit more flow. I've got options, so I'm not done with this yet. I still believe in this manifold. At least I know what I'm working with now, and hopefully now with my O2 sensors, I can correct it in time, because this has been plaguing me for years, and I've just got nowhere with it, and I'm just sick of it, and I just want to get this thing sorted out. I'm not chasing crazy boost, guys, but I want it reliable. I'll show you the gauge cluster inside that I'm going to do. Oh, we're finally getting some nice weather now. We've had a shocking spring, guys. We've had more wind than I can ever remember. It's been terrible. There you go. Now that's a lot better position, and I've got enough room there to drill out another 3 holes and set it up. I'm still going to keep my Innovate digital one as a collective. I think that's important to know any changes and just see how it all fares up as a collective. But the four air fuel gauges, the small ones, are going to be vital to getting this thing sorted out. So, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the GoPro too. I'm going to bring it right up so it's really close. It's got a fisheye on it, so it gets a good spread. But if I can sort of get it up to about here, you can still see out, get a good view of sort of where we're going, and you'll be able to see the telemetry of all the gauges. So I'm really excited about this now. I think this is a real move forward, and it needs to be done. I just can't fluff around with it anymore. It's just ridiculous. It's costing me too much money, too much effort, and it is disheartening. But I'm going to take control of it now, and we're going to sneak up on it, and we're going to sort this all out and make sure we've got an acceptable air fuel on all of the cylinders. All right, guys, it was just a quick one. I'll show you when I've got it all running, and we might do a little pull on the brake. I know my back brakes are stuffed, but it doesn't matter anymore. So I think this will be interesting. Just with the one gauge at the minute, just to see the comparison with the collective air fuel and one. I'm actually thinking of doing number 3 to start with, because that's. Look, I've had a change of heart. I think even though that pushed number 7, this was incredibly hot. So I'm going to run number 3 because I think it's just, I just want to do that. All right, guys. Well, I'll pop one up soon when I get it all running, and I'll have to obviously re-torque the head down, but we've got 80 foot-pound on the head for the first time ever. I don't think that'll ever save another gasket getting pushed out, but geez, I'm thankful I got these composite gaskets running at the moment. Down the track, once it's all sorted, if the boost starts to lift the heads, well, we may think of some other option. But for now, she's composite gaskets. All right, guys, I'll put one up soon when I get him going. Okay, catch you later.